Film Club Review. This week we watched Lifeforce. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to never miss a video. We have daily film content including movie reviews, movie news, and so much more. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button to never miss a video. Before we jump into the review of this week's Film Club film, I just want to kind of talk about my new blog site, fourtimefilmschooldropout.blog. It's pretty much a site where we're gonna be uploading daily film content, including movie reviews and movie news in written form. So it's gonna have more of a traditional journalist style instead of video style for YouTube and social platforms. And the reviews are gonna have similar. They're gonna have the same ratings, similar rating system. With that, I do the traditional, stars out of 5, and give a more traditional review sense in how I kind of, review the film. It's more detailed and more in a traditional sense, where this is more of a different structure of reviewing, I guess you would call it. So definitely check that out. We have daily content uploaded in there, as well as we'll continue to be uploading daily videos here on YouTube. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. And we're going to be getting back to the film review for Lifeforce. Now, this is a 1985 Tobe Hooper film. I always call him Tobe Hopper. Tobe Hooper film that came out in 1985. It's pretty much about space vampires. Now, when I first heard that, I was like really on board for it, and I was really excited to see this movie because I've never seen it before. So I was like really stoked for it, and it's definitely misleading on what the film actually is versus what it's described to be. Now, every week at Film Club, before the film starts, you'll have the host of that week's Film Club talk about the movie and give some insight on it. And they were saying how this was this was produced by Canon Films, which in the year 1985 they produced I want to say he said 40 films that year, which if you think about it, there's 52 weeks in a year, and they released 40 films that year. So they released almost a film a week. Now that is an astonishing achievement. Most studios generally only produce 12 to 18 movies a year, probably. And they produced 40. Now, with that being said, they were a B-movie company. They were producing mostly B-movies. They also produced movies like Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and a lot of big, icons of the 80s. But they weren't necessarily B-movies, but they also produced a shit ton of B-movies. And Lifeforce originally was kind of supposed to be a B-movie, but it got a $25 million budget, which was huge at the time in 1985. So it really wasn't a B movie. It was a B movie with a big budget. Now, I personally don't see the appeal in this film at all. I feel like it definitely lost its footing. Like, the film starts off, one of the things we saw the international cut, which Canon originally had cut the film down by like 20 minutes or 15 minutes in the beginning of the film to make it more lean and tighter. And then in the international markets, they didn't want to cut it, so they said whatever and let them release the film in its original cut, which is kind of like a director's cut, but they call it the international cut. So we saw the international cut, which was a restoration on 4K. Now, I kind of wish we would have saw the theatrical cut, because the first half hour of this movie was so drawn out and just like dull. I could not get into it, and just felt so drawn out, and like nothing was really happening. The effects are dated, but that's not even makes this movie kind of bad, because B movies, and that's part of the problem too. I think this was supposed to be a B movie, but then they try to make it a big budget blockbuster film, and it kind of got lost in translation of what movie they were making, because B movies are supposed to be over the top and fun, and they're not supposed to take themselves too seriously. And this dialogue at times plays very much that B movie expectation, and then at the same time, everything else, the acting, the overall cinematography, everything makes it feel like it's supposed to be this serious sci-fi film, but it's not. And the contrast of the tones that try to play against one another just makes for a movie that just doesn't work. It's tone deaf. It has no sense of what it's trying to say, And honestly, the first like 2/3 of this movie is absolutely horrible, and it starts to get its footing around the third act. But by that time, it's too late in the film to really get invested in this film. And even though it gets its footing and starts to take off, it takes off in such a way that it doesn't maintain your interest enough. Like it maintains your interest, but you're not fully vested in these characters at all. And you really don't care what happens to them, and you really don't like the whole first 2/3 of the story is kind of a blur. So it's just like what am I watching? And the third act kind of takes up with the action and kind of gets more impactful, which you would expect from a alien invasions vampire film. But the first 2/3 of the movie are so horrible, it can't save itself. It doesn't work. And now, again, this is a cult classic. A lot of people love this movie. Our host said that he's been trying to get this film in film club for years, for them to show it at film club, and they finally did. Now, at the end, you leave the lobby and they stamp your card and everything. He asked me what I thought of the film. I thought it was good. I couldn't bear the thought of saying how bad this movie was. And with that being said, some people are going to love this. I know this movie has a cult following, and some people absolutely love this movie. I'm just not one of them. I mean, there's definitely, I feel like it's an acquired taste because it's not a traditional B movie. And I don't watch a lot of B movies. I've said that before in my reviews. I don't watch a lot of B movies. Like I saw Toxic Avenger, the new one that came out, I want to say in September. I watched that and I really enjoyed that one thoroughly. And I thought it was a great movie for what it was, because it was very much a B movie, and it was a B movie through and through, and that's what kind of made it fun, because at no point did it take itself seriously. It was so over the top, and it was drenching in B movie madness, and that's what kind of made it enjoyable. This one, it doesn't let itself be what it is, and it tries to be something it's not, so it kind of just completely ruins the tone for me. Again, some people are going to love this movie. I could not and will not get behind this movie. I have to give this one a don't even bother watching it, because I don't think it's worth, actually, no, I take that back. I'm going to give this one a stream it. If you can find it on Netflix, Prime, somewhere for free, go ahead and give it a try. You might like it. You might like it, because a lot of people love this movie. I heard a lot of laughter in the theater at things that I don't know what they were laughing at, because nothing funny really happened. Just bad performances. So again, if this could be a movie you might like, so I'm going to give it a streaming, and I give it that streaming rating because you could potentially like this movie. There's definitely an audience for this movie. I just wasn't one of them. With that being said, have you seen Lifeforce? What are your thoughts? Comment below. Let me know.